Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm sure you saw from the title, I am going to be giving myself a fill today. I believe my nails are 4 to 5 weeks grown out, somewhere around there. So they do have quite a bit of grow out on them. And that is exactly why I did this glitter fade last time, because I knew I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to do them again. And it definitely helps hide the grow out, but obviously when you have 4 to 5 weeks grow out, it's pretty obvious. So I'm finally getting to do my nails again today. So I am going to take you along in how I do that. So I have my Zephyros dust collector. This is from the Nail Hub. I will put the link for this in the description box below. This is what it looks like without the filter on. And then you take the filter and put it in. And then when you turn the machine on, all the dust collects right here, and then you toss this when you're done with it. I am using one of the Erica's bits for removal, which is this one right here. I can't quite remember the name of it, but I will definitely look it up and put it in the description box. Everything that I use, I will try to link down below in the description box for you guys. So I am going to use this, and I'm going to start removing my old glitter and kind of debulking this gel, because the design I settled on that I want to do is going to be a little bit thicker. So I want to make sure and get this really nice and thin so that I don't end up with a super chunky nail. So I am just going to start filing this down. All right, so this is the first nail, the thumb. I got most of the glitter off, and I did have a clear layer over top of the glitter. So the glitter was embedded, so I had to file down that clear layer. And now it's pretty thin. I'll probably make it a little bit thinner than that, just because I want to make sure that it's a nice thin thickness, because again, the design I'm gonna do is a little bit thicker of a design. And as you can see, there's now some dust sitting on top of this filter that's going to get tossed at the end. So that's the first nail. I'm going to go ahead and do all the rest of them. Also, I had a tiny bit of lifting right on this corner right here, and I just quickly got that with the bit, very, very gently. You don't want to use this bit on the nail, so I just kind of flicked off that part that was lifting, and that's it. So on to the next nails. All right, here's all 5 nails filed down. Now they're a lot thinner. I got rid of any little lifting that was around the corners or around the cuticle area here. And I did want to say I used this bit on a high speed. So I used this bit on 20,000 RPMs. And also the cool thing about this bit, as kind of scary as it looks, because it's like big, like a big monster, it doesn't cut your skin. So there's, I actually, when I go around, I touched my skin and it actually doesn't cut you. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to be afraid of it, even though it looks a little bit scary. So next, I'm going to be working on my cuticles. As you can see, they are super duper dry. And this one is looking a little bit like nice and thick right there. Definitely they need some work. One of my favorite cuticle bits is this Erica's micro taper. This is really nice to get in there and remove all of that dead cuticle. And I also love their Russian nib as well. So those are the two main ones that I use. And these you do want to keep on a very low speed, maybe, 5 RPMs, and you want to keep it flush to the nail. You don't ever want to angle it like this, because otherwise you can create rings of fire and you can create indents in the nail. So you always want to make sure it's down like this. So first I'm going to start by pushing my cuticle back with a cuticle pusher. This one is from Love Nails, and I'm not pushing that hard. Even though it kind of looks red, it's just the color of my skin. It doesn't actually hurt or anything. So I'm going to do that on all of the nails, push back those cuticles. Now I'm going in with my bit, again, really low speed. And I have my e-file in forward direction, and I'm going right to left first. Not only does this remove the dead skin on the nail, it also preps the nail, so it kind of removes the shine from the nail, so you don't have to worry about doing that. And it also pushes that cuticle back even more and kind of lifts it off the nail so you can get really close to the cuticle with your color. That shiny bit is a little bit of gel that's still shiny. Now what I do is I actually flip it in reverse. I will do all the nails first though, and I will then flip it in reverse. And then again, low speed, and I'll go the opposite direction. I'll go left to right. And then this is going to push that skin back on the other side now. I'll also take that bit while it's in reverse and go up and around like this and push that skin, that cuticle up off the nail. So it's like lifted up. Just like that. So that cuticle is now lifted up off of the nail. So when I put the gel on or I put the color on, the gel is going to sit right back in here and it's going to get a lot closer to the cuticle than you would normally be able to get. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the rest of the nails and do the same thing. All right, so there is my cuticles all done with the e-file and they're pushed back. I can already tell a huge difference from this side, looking so much better. I also did want to mention that I do not recommend going out and buying an e-file if you are not properly trained in using one. I have taken 2 classes on using an e-file and I have received 2 certificates. So I just want to make sure I say that if you have not been trained in using an e-file, I definitely recommend getting trained before you buy one or use one on yourself or someone else, because you can do damage to your nails or someone else's nails, if you're doing it to someone else, that can cause actual permanent damage. So you really want to make sure you know what you're doing before you use one of these. So now I am taking my nippers. These are the Erica's Boss Lady nippers. These have been like my new favorites. So now that the cuticle is like pushed up and it's pushed off the nail, it's going to be a lot easier for me to go around and nip this off. Now I know some people prefer to leave this. Some people prefer to nip every single little thing off. I believe I am somewhere in the middle. So if you don't feel comfortable doing this, then by all means, don't do it. If you are specially trained in doing advanced cuticle prep and stuff, then by all means do that. So again, another tool that you really can hurt yourself or someone else if you don't know what you're doing. And that's about as far as I go with that. I don't really do anything more than that. So next I want to reshape these actually. I want to shape them into more of an oval shape. So I'm going to do that first before I put my gel on. To do the oval shape, I'm pretty much going to just come up from the bottom and take away those corners. Just like that. So now I have more of an oval shaped nail. And then I'm also going to take my smoother side of the file and I'm actually going to kind of smooth out this old gel just because I'm actually think I'm going to do like a thin layer of gel and then I'm going to do the design, and I'm not actually going to shape or smooth that thin layer of gel out before I do the design because I know the design is going to be thicker. I may have to do a clear layer over top just depending on how thick it is, but I think that I'm going to make this actually as smooth as possible, and then I don't have to worry about shaping like that thin layer when I put it on. You'll guys see as soon as I get to that point. All right, so there's the gel. Now it's really smooth and it's shaped, so I can just go ahead and apply my thin layer of my clear builder gel, and it's going to smooth out over top of that, and it's going to look really nice. So I'm going to do the same thing on all of the other nails. Okay, so here are all of my nails shaped, and I smoothed out all of the old gel. They are prepped. So the last thing I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to push those cuticles back one more time just so I can get that gel as far back as possible. Want to make sure we can get that as pushed back as possible. And if you see like these kind of spots here in the gel, there was just like a little bit of lifting and stuff. So that's what that is. So the next thing I'm doing is taking my cleanser, which is 99% alcohol mixed with basically like a splash of acetone, and I'm going to cleanse the dust and debris off of all the nails. And I'm going to start with a primer, which is the Young Nails Protein Bond. It's not a bonder as the title would make you think. It's actually a non-acid primer. So it creates almost like a double-sided sticky tape for your nail. So I'm going to do a coat of that on all of the nails. Now I am taking my bonder, which is my Accents X Bond. I do use their Accents gel, so I'm using their X Bond. And the gel I'm going to be using is Accents Trinity. And Trinity actually is a builder gel, a bonder, and a top coat in one. You don't necessarily need to have a bonder with Trinity. However, I do feel like I get really like maximum adhesion if I do pair it with X-Bond. So I do still use X-Bond with the Trinity gel. So I'm going in with my X-Bond and just taking that on the nail, and I'm trying to kind of scrub it in. So there's the bonder applied, and now I'm going to cure that. And X-Bond, I don't remember how many seconds it needs. I usually just do 60 seconds, but I will put that in the description. Okay, now I'm taking my Trinity gel from Accents, and I'm using, sorry, this brush looks so disgusting right now. There's so much gel stuck to it. I'm using their Accents 1 Oval 111 brush, which is my favorite. And I'm going to dip it into the gel. And all I'm gonna do for this layer is a nice, smooth, thin layer. Making sure not touching the skin for this, because your nail will lift if you touch the skin. All right, so I'm gonna flash cure this before I move on to the next nails, but I am going to do the exact same thing on all 5 nails. And when you flash cure, you just pop it in, make sure your gel is not in front of your light, otherwise you'll cure your whole pot of gel. Just put it in for like 1, 2, 3. You might even feel the gel warm up just from those couple seconds. And I'm gonna do like 1, 2, 3 more seconds. And that's it. And I'm gonna move on to the next nail. And after I've done all 5, I'm gonna go put my hand in my lamp for the full 60-second cure. All right, so here's the nails. All 5 are done and cured. Sometimes I really like just this clear look, and one time I did leave it like this and I actually really enjoyed it. They just look so shiny and clean. And with Trinity, you could actually cleanse these and they would be done because it's also a top coat. So that's kind of cool. But I'm gonna add some color today. My goal is to do like almost like an opal look, and I really liked this picture posted by Nail It Mag, but it's from s.page.a is the girl's profile. And they're just these gorgeous, like almost opal with stars, except I kind of wanted to add that ring around that makes it more of like an opal stone, but I do like the stars a lot. So this is kind of like my inspiration. So I'm gonna pull out my palette. I'm trying to do this like with sticky nails, so this is fun. And I grabbed from Magpie, I grabbed Moaning Myrtle as one of my colors, Be Happy, and I grabbed Funtime Frankie. I thought these would be a really pretty combination. And these are not gonna go on quite as opaque or as bright because I'm gonna kind of mix them with clear. So I'm going to do some of my Give Me Strength on my palette so that I can kind of dilute these colors and make them a little bit more sheer. So that's what I have on my palette. First, I'm gonna do a coat of Come What May, which is a really sheer, it's a nice sheer pink. I think that'll be a nice kind of foundation to do an opal looking nail. So I'm going to do a coat of this on all the nails, and I'm applying this straight on that sticky builder gel. Yeah, it just has that like slightest pink, which I think is going to be a nice kind of opal foundation color. And if you notice like imperfections in your builder gel layer, you can totally file it. I just didn't file it because when I do my nails, I like to especially try and create like as little work as possible because I really don't like sitting and doing my nails for like 5 hours. So if I can shave off like any bit of time, I try and do that. So I think I'm going to do a second coat of this, and then I will be back with that. And each coat of the Magpie gel polishes, they do need 60 seconds in your UV LED lamp. Okay, so now I have 2 coats of Come What May on, which is that really nice sheer pink. This is a beautiful color to wear on its own. And I'm gonna be taking my gel brush and I'm gonna mix some of these colors on my palette together, like with the clear to kind of dilute them. And I just kind of wanna see how this looks. So if I take a little bit of this pink, and kind of marble it in. I'm kind of not sure about how this looks, so I'm actually going to try a different technique and on one nail, and I'm going to see how it looks, and I might actually like that better. I'm going to actually do a coat of Gel Melt, which is a blooming gel. And I'm going to lay a coat of that down, and I might actually prefer how this looks a little bit more. And I think I'm going to just pick up kind of a little bit of each color and put that in there like so. Yeah, I actually think I like how that is looking a little bit more because it's dispersing into that clear versus this one isn't quite doing that. I might just drop a little bit of the Gel Melt on my palette and put that in here. You guys, this is like real time, me doing my nails. Sometimes things don't work out and sometimes they do. So sometimes you gotta try things and then you know what you like and what didn't work out. So I think I'm going to do a coat of the Gel Melt on all of these. Before I cure this, I'm actually going to stick some of the little stars in there because I want to just be able to stick them into that thicker layer with the Gel Melt, and then I don't have to worry about trying to stick them on later. These are the Magpie Gabby stars. Some of my favorites, they're like rose gold and silver and gold, I think. So I'm just going to get my dotting tool and I'm just going to do just a couple, like I'm not going to overload it. Just like that. I'm not going to add any more than that. I just wanted a few of them. Remember to clean anything up before you cure, so I am going to cure this now for the full 60 seconds. Now I'm going to be taking some of this fun iridescent foil. This is from Dixie Plates. And I'm just going to press this on. First, make sure that you have the right side up. Sometimes I've tried it before and I'm like, it wouldn't stick, and it's because it was upside down. So I'm just going to press that, and it just gives that super pretty iridescent look, which is kind of what you need sometimes when you're doing a opal kind of look. So now I'm actually going to do a matte top coat, and you'll see why in a little bit. So I'm going to use the Luxa Matte. I'm going to put this over all of the nails, and then I'm going to give that a full cure. And you guys are probably wondering why the heck I'm using matte. But I'm going to give these nails a border. And I don't want the border to stick to the entire nail. I just want it to stick to where I'm going to draw the border. So I need the nails to have a matte finish so that the nails are not sticky. Okay, now I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds. Okay, now our nails are matte. And even though this is a no wipe matte top coat, so they're already matte straight out of the lamp, I'm actually going to give them a cleanse just in case, because I really want to make sure that this next step is going to work properly. So now they are cleansed, and I'm going to take some rose gold foil, and I'm going to take Profiles. This is their Stick It gel. So this gel is made for foil, so it's super, super sticky. And I'm going to take a small brush. This is the Light Elegance swirly brush, and I'm going to paint my border around these. So I'm going to go pretty thin and just go around the entire nail. Okay, now I'm going to give that a cure for 30 seconds. All right, so now we're going to take our rose gold foil and we're just going to press that on, and that is going to give us that really pretty border around that's like super shiny. All right, so there's how they look with the border. It actually looks pretty cool with the matte and that shiny rose gold border. So now all these nails need is a top coat, and we are done. So I will see you guys in a minute after I top coat these. Here's what they look like top coated. Gorgeous. I love that iridescent foil. It just adds like that perfect touch. So pretty. So I do still need to cleanse these, so I'm going to cleanse them with my cleanser. For my top coat, I just used that same Trinity gel just because it was out and it was really easy. So my cuticles look so much better than before. Oh my gosh, no difference. I mean, a huge difference, no comparison. Make sure to rub that in and rub it in underneath the nails as well. All right, here's the end result. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love the little stars in there, and I love that rose gold border. I kind of feel like that totally completes the look. What do you guys think? Are you into that like opal kind of trend right now? I feel like you can do an opal nail so many different ways, and it's always gonna look good. Like you can just throw so many different techniques and stuff to create like an opal look. So huge improvement from when I started. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again.